They'll be calling you a radical. Well, you need to have a talk. All you guys have jumped into on the side of the pro-nuclear denial side. We need to have a conversation. The clock's going right now. They're moving the doomsday clock right now. I believe Allison McFarland's probably going to get the honors again, which is ironic, you know, because it already struck 03/11/11. Everybody says that's over the top. No, it's not over the top for the people that have died of cancer, which have been dramatic. I want to talk to this young man who's put this video out, taking the side. I want to talk to the Los Angeles Times. I want to talk to all these people. This squid that came out, they put that story out there, and I went after it immediately. You guys know I went after it. They will use that against us and say that's one of us. We didn't do this. That's the game they play. That's the game they play to try to discredit us. The game they play to try to discredit us is they put out this propaganda bullshit and then they use it. That was no anti-nuker who put that out. That was a shill. That was the machine. Okay, so you dive into this young man who's done this video countering the radiation. Says, oh, me and my producer were going to rent a camera. Well, then go rent one. We know factually, this Geiger counter the young man did in the Pacific is nothing new. Radnet themselves, the United States government admits themselves, they will admit it, that radiation from Fukushima, the first several days, increased the amounts of radiation in North America dramatically. The government admits that. So you saying, oh, we don't know where it come from, we know factually where it come from, the government admits it. So how did the government handle it? They raised the legal limits, the safe limits, which were already high. They'll admit that to you, Radnet. You guys don't even know what Radnet is. So you guys want to take the side of this pro-nuclear cover-up, and this is not conspiracy. You are the conspiracist. The conspiracists are on your side, not us. We're just reporting the facts. We're just talking about the facts. We're using art, we're using creativity to try to break down this dogma that somehow... Okay, I want you to think about this. Every single one of you guys, this kid that did the video, the LA Times, all these reporters, I want you to think about it. You have no credibility. You have no data. You quote nothing. You say scientists, and then you have no scientists. I want to ask you something, every single one of you. I want to ask you this, simply. Do you think that there can be 3 full core meltdowns for 1,040 days, pushed into the Pacific Ocean? 3 full core, I mean, this has never happened in the history of mankind. Nuclear fission, at least 3, more likely 4, 5, and 6. But we'll just say it 3. Okay, do you think that 3 full core nuclear meltdowns pushed into the Pacific Ocean have no consequences? That is insanity by definition. It is ignorance. It's like finance. When I was a finance professor and I was on Wall Street, and you guys have watched my vlog, you know, it's like people that jumped into finance, the Glenn Becks of the world, all these people, you know, sell your Dow buy gold. I mean, finance is a very complex issue. Economics is a very complex, takes years. It's like learning a foreign language. Same with nuclear. Same with radiation. You can't just jump into this now and not understand the dynamic of this. This is industrial. This is a gigantic industry. A gigantic, gigantic industry. And do you think they're not going to fight and protect it? These were our worst fears. You know, we've always feared, you know, and everybody's going on. And to think that radiation does not cause cancers is beyond ignorant. I mean, that's beyond, we know factually. I mean, anybody who has half a brain cell. So to think 3 full core meltdowns, and somehow you guys take the quantum leap that somehow Fukushima's been had. Fukushima's ongoing. Nothing's been done over there. Everything they tried's failed. It's been dumping into the Pacific Ocean and into the jet stream the entire time. It gets worse every day. So when you guys come out and say, oh, this radiation could have been from anything, you know, from some old red paint, I mean, yeah. Really? Really? Government themselves tells you we know factually. That kid's Geiger counter reports down there are nothing new. They're nothing new. They've been done over and over and over. It's just that contemporary sheep are starting to say, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. I mean, 1,000 days later. These things have been done over and over and over and over. Then you quote scientific, so-called scientific, well, no scientific data. And we know the science. I always quote my sources. Always, always. We have the data. That radiation is in the food chain. Radiation's in that. We presented it over and over and over. Hardcore, factual, scientific data. I've presented it over and over and over. By incredible credible scientists, and using the very government's data themselves, the United States government data. RadNet, Radiation Detecting Network, Gina McCarthy, head of RadNet, who's head of the EPA, they will admit to you, they will tell you, in factual detail, yes, radiation from Fukushima did increase the above background. What is above background? Background is the radiation. We already know what the radiations are from the bikini bombs, from the open air test. That's what it's called, background radiation levels. We know what those levels are. We know exactly what every drop of radiation in the atmosphere was 3, 10, 11. We know it. Okay, that's what background levels are. The increase above the background level, you can trace these levels. I mean, science knows how to do this easily. It's very easy. That kid's been using a Geiger counter for a very, very, very long time. This guy's saying he doesn't. Oh, yes, that kid does. That kid's an expert on the Geiger counter. I know that guy. You know, and they've been done over and over by multiple places, thousands. There's websites there. There's no debating this. There's no debating that Fukushima. So I want you to just answer, every one of you guys. And I'm willing to debate anyone, any place, anywhere, anyhow. You know, I've been on a bone marrow transplant fighting for my life post-Fukushima. I was head of the Atomic Veterans. I watched my father die of leukemia after he'd been nuked in the Nevada test site. I've watched the young people from Chernobyl die. I mean, it's in denial and it's ignorance. Again, you ask yourselves, 3 full-core nuclear meltdowns. Nuclear fission, which has been termed China syndrome because of the movie. It's nuclear fission. Never happened in the history, but we know the energy that they release. So you're going to tell me there's no consequence to that. So you're going to call Albert Einstein a liar. You're going to call Robert Oppenheimer a liar. You're going to call Andrei Sakharov a liar. You're going to call the greatest scientific minds in the history of humanity all liars. You're going to call science a liar. So who's the conspiracy theorist? Who's the conspiracy theorist? You guys are. Just like this squid. They put out this squid. That was no anti-nuclear that did that. I said that day, I said, find out who did this. Find out this, because they're going to throw this back against us. And sure as shit, that's what they did. So they put it out there. Counter. Realize this. You got me on my own, standing on an island with no funding, with no money, full of cancer, fighting for my freaking life against a multi-billion-dollar unlimited machine, the IAEA. They're right out of China. They're funding these guys. And you print media that are doing this, I'm here to tell you, this is not going away. And you are on the wrong side on this. Factual. You cannot deny it, factually. Fukushima is ongoing. At least 3 full-core meltdowns poured in the Pacific for over 1,000 days. To think there is no consequence of that? Fish swim. Ocean currents move. The jet stream moves left to right, and the government will tell you themselves. We know the radiation from Fukushima hit North America, and we know that it raised above the background limits in a dramatic way, but we think you can handle it because they have no other option but to raise the limits. What else are they to do? They're going to protect their... I mean, he said the mob? Really? He said the mob. When we know factually it's the mob has been hired to clean it up. The mob's running the cleanup of Teco. So this kid doesn't even know. I mean, this kid's a moron. I want to debate him. I want to debate the LA Times writer. I want to debate the banana guy. Any place, anytime, anywhere. Anywhere. We'll even pay for it. You know, let's have a roundtable debate. I'll bring all my evidence, you know, my scientific data. You bring yours. Let's just sit down and let's have PBS, you know, cordial place, cordial way. You know, watch my interview with Dak Dresser and let's just have a discussion. And let's draw out all the facts for the people. You guys are ignorant to think that 3 full-core meltdowns poured into the Pacific Ocean for 1,040 days and there's no consequences is the definition of insanity. Stay tuned.